My name's Mike Rowe, and this is my job.
I explore the country looking for people who aren't afraid to get dirty.
Crap. Ow.
Hard-working men and women who earn an honest living.
Oh, man, we're going to be here all night.
Doing the kinds of jobs that make civilized life possible for the rest of us.
Now get ready to get dirty.
Coming up on Dirty Jobs. At the Chicago Botanic Garden, they collect seeds to prepare for the end of the world.
Am I driving? You're driving.
But first, we have to mow a lake.
Just top speed? That's top speed.
Eradicating invasive species that threaten the very existence of seeds needed for a doomsday vault.
The underwater lawnmower. First time I've had the pleasure.
And later,
Heliocorus.
Heliocorus.
it's a seedy job.
Those are the seeds.
And that's what goes in the vault?
And that's what goes in the vault.
But the survival of mankind may depend on it.
The world is falling apart. The sky is falling. Oh, my God, we got to get these seeds.
Now you're singing our song. There is no hope on Dirty Jobs. Oh, God. Bad news, everyone. It's the end of the world. Yeah, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but Armageddon, it's here. I don't have a lot of details. Could have been a meteorite. May have been some terrible disease sweeping through the species, maybe man-made nuclear holocaust. Whatever the case, there's only a very small percentage of the species left to repopulate the world. I'm kidding, of course, but can you imagine? What a drag that would be. So much to consider, so many things to do, so many challenges to overcome. For instance, what about all the plants? You know, in a global killing event, how would the species not only repopulate itself, but how would we get all the great plants that we've come to rely and depend on to start growing again? Well, here at the Chicago Botanic Garden, they've got a Doomsday Vault. It's back there right now. And in the Doomsday Vault, they've got hundreds of millions, I think, of different types of seeds for different types of plants. So those few remaining survivors of a cataclysmic global killing event could band together and somehow replant everything, I think. I say I think because I'm not sure, but when somebody tells me there's a Doomsday Vault just outside Chicago, I'm coming for answers before it's too late.
The Chicago Botanic Garden is part of an international conservation program called the Millennium Seed Bank. With hundreds of seed banks worldwide, the goal is to preserve the world's flora in the event of a catastrophe. And since the tall grass prairies of Illinois have been disappearing at an alarming rate, the research here is focused on preserving and restoring these important natural resources. Today, my job will be to travel the 385 acres of the garden and chop, hack, dig, destroy, collect, and count various plants and seeds in an effort to save the world of flora from certain extinction. But first, I had to meet a guy named Bob.
Okay, so this is Bob. And Bob, that's your ride?
That is.
And what do you do here, and what is that, and what can I do to slow things down?
Well, that's an aquatic plant harvester machine. It's like a lawn tractor for your lawn. It mows the large area of the lakes.
Mm-hmm.
And after we're done mowing the large area of the lakes with the harvester, we'll work around the edges of the lake and cut Eurasian water milfoil and other invasive plants that we have in here.
So we're mowing the lake because we're looking after what, milfoil?
Milfoil, Eurasian water milfoil. It's a wildly invasive plant that we have here.
So more and more, it seems like wherever we go on this show, we run into non-indigenous invasive species doing something bad.
Yep.
And that's obviously a big part of what your job is here.
That's right. The Director of Restoration Ecology, and we take care of the 81 acres of water that we have here at the garden.
Yeah, let's go mow a lake. You got a name for her?
We don't.
That's a shame. A ship without a name?
We're open to your ideas.
How about Big Mo?
Go ahead and sit down.
Am I driving?
You're driving.
Oh, interesting. Straddling. All right. Bob, you got no hat today.
I have no hat today.
Bold move.
Yeah. Shine.
Maybe you guys can work something out. Okay, this is the stuff we're looking for?
That's right. That's Eurasian water milfoil. Depending on which story, it came either in the 1940s, potentially to the reflecting pole of the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., or about 100 years ago.
Wait a second. How would it wind up at the Washington Monument?
Well, one theory has it being an aquarium dump. It was a popular aquarium plant.
Eurasian water milfoil was dumped purposefully into the reflecting pool in front of the Washington Monument. What do you do with it after you've collected it?
When we're done here, we're going to back it up to this conveyor, goes into the truck, and then later on you'll be going on to our landscape waste facility where we mix it with leaves and twigs and dirt and logs and turn it into mulch. All right, ready to fire this up?
I am.
All right.
It was time to tear across the lake in pursuit of some serious invasive species.
Can pull up on the throttle as far as it can come up.
Black knob?
Correct.
So, with the roar of the engine at our back, I opened the throttle all the way up and began our pursuit.
Is this top speed?
I'm sorry?
Is this top speed?
That's top speed.
So the attack would be a slow death march, which gives me a chance to practice my underwater lawn mowing skills on some harmless lake weeds.
This is a plant coming up here that's called coontail. We've got milfoil sort of out in the middle of the lake. There's a little bluegill.
And it's called, I'm sorry, poontail?
Coontail, just like a raccoon's tail.
Oh.
How the milfoil got from the East Coast to Illinois is anybody's guess. Could have been aquarium dumps or even a fragment of a plant hitchhiking on a boat or trailer.
We're going to be starting the cutters. This whole arm lowers down, and when the sickles turn on, they cut back and forth, and then this conveyor belt takes the cut plants from below the water and stores them here.
Great, so this will all pile up.
That's right, that's right.
Like a soldier on a search and destroy mission, I mowed down everything in my path.
So we're looking for milfoil, but we're getting coontail.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
As the assault continued, Bob told me how this is just one step to preserving plants. By keeping the invasive species at bay, the native plants can flourish and provide seed. These seeds are collected and placed into the Doomsday vault.
Dave, you're very near some cutting edges there.
You're near calamity.
Started the day with 5 fingers. We'll see how many he ends up with.
Yeah. What about my clippers down there? Are they going?
They're going, but they're getting jammed up. Why don't we go ahead and turn the conveyor off, crawl out there and get that off.
Oh, I'll get her. All right.
What you can do is just throw them up here on top of the harvester.
Okay. Is this a proprietary device?
It's an aquatic plant harvester. Or as folks who visit the garden a lot, it's the underwater lawnmower.
The underwater lawnmower. Yeah. First time I've had the pleasure.
Maybe just a little bit around the motor that's on your right-hand side behind you.
Over here.
You doing okay down there?
Good.
We'll head out, back out this way and see if we can capture some milfoil.
All right. Capture seems an ambitious term. Now there's some. Yep. And that was this guy here.
Yep. Other way.
Of course. That's all milfoil, but you don't have to get it by the root. You can't get it by the root.
Can't really get it by the root. Milfoil with algae.
That's the stuff?
That's the stuff.
Oh, there's a thick bunch of it. How often do you have to do this, Bob?
We're pretty much running 8 hours a day, 5 days a week when the plants are growing fast.
To give you an idea of what growing fast means, how about an inch or more per day at the height of the summer growing season? Today alone, we'll mow down hundreds of pounds of milfoil.
Now, what about all that there? Should I go back and get that?
Well, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to jump in the water and edge the lawn. This is the big lawn tractor going around the middle of the lawn. Then we jump in the water and edge it.
So the next phase of the campaign awaited. But first, pardon me while I do my one good deed for the day.
Hey, if I reverse the conveyor belt, send that fish back to where he belongs?
Sure.
We'll slow it down.
Yeah, you can.
Uh-oh.
My friends at PETA will be pleased to know that no aquatic civilians were injured during the filming of this program.
There he goes.
He's free. There he goes. Okay, slow her on down a little bit. Go ahead and try and get that one hooked up to there, and then you can back the other one in. Sure you haven't driven one of these before?
Pretty sure. All right, so now, show me your special tool and introduce me to your fancy waiters.
Coming up,
Jerk it.
it's the invasion of the invasive species.
If we don't have plants on the earth.
We'll be eating each other. I read a lot of Stephen King. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And later,
What's that squeaking? Listen.
saving plants
Yeah, you had your big, meaty, hairy hobbit knee on one of these little mouse nests.
and irritating animals.
Dave's knee, the ultimate invasive species. How are you, Sue?
I'm good.
Now, your name, Sue, is on some of the buildings here at the gardens, or?
Well, they wanted a prairie, and so we love prairies, so we built a prairie for them.
Can we chat about Doomsday, Ness?
I don't like the name Doom.
I don't like it either, but that's what brought us
It
here.
sounds like they're, doomed, and they're not.
We'll do this like a quiz show. I'll ask you the end of the world questions. We'll see how you do. So,
I'm not up for quizzes.
how long before the sun dies?
Never.
You really are an optimist. Of course it has to die.
Why?
5 billion years. The death of the sun appears to be a sure thing. It will become extremely dense and can explode as a type of a supernova, I suppose.
Where did you get this, on the internet?
Yeah, where everything is true.
Oh, right.
You remember Bob, of course. These are his fancy tools, and we will now proceed to the part of the program where we eliminate the mill foil from the perimeter of the lake.
This is an underwater weed rake. So have you used one of these before?
Honestly, no. Do you pull it toward you then?
You put it parallel to the bottom of the lake, and you jerk it, and then
you jerk it.
This
That's razor sharp right there.
Cuts the plants, right?
Okay, so the edges of this facing me,
Correct.
That's where the money is. So we're not pushing, we're pulling. So I'll be putting it behind the milk toast where the milk flex. What is it?
Milfoil.
Milfoil.
Milk toast.
And pulling.
Yep.
Pulling this toward me.
Exactly. This is all milfoil that we see here.
Mill.
Milfoil. Here's your weapon of choice. And, yep. And now jerk it. There we go. You've done this before too, haven't you?
Oh, I've been jerking for years.
All right, you want to try raking some of this into the boat?
I'm going to do more than try. I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it. All right.
Rare have I been so optimistic about the outcome of a task. Does this part of the job have anything to do with the Doomsday vault?
Well, it is. We're trying to keep these native plant communities intact, so it helps support the plants that we're then collecting seed.
So do I understand the thought process right behind the Doomsday vault? I mean, it's a conscious attempt to get as many different plants in one place under lock and key.
The belief is that the Doomsday won't happen, but some step short of that is probably going to be upon us, and so we're preparing for that, because if we get to the Doomsday scenario, we have quite a few problems.
I was going to say, you know, the list of things I'm going to worry about, but it's just me and a few hundred people left.
Right. But if we don't have plants on the earth to support you and a few hundred people left,
we'll be eating each other.
you'll be...
I read a lot of Stephen King. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. We're going to move into that area up
This
there.
way?
Yep, where we got some...
Oh, look at all that. All right. That's a pretty impressive MILF up there. Could you take just a couple steps to your left? Watch that blade, though. I'll get my proper angle. And we should be, I guess we're wrapped for here. So I've gone from my size 8 waders to my size 13s. For the purpose of getting back into the water to get back into the nameless boat. To do what exactly?
We're going to take the plants that we harvested earlier in the lake and put it up on the conveyor into the back of the dump truck, and that'll be hauled off to the landscape waste site, where you'll mix it with leaves and dirt and sticks and stumps and turn it into mulch.
After trudging through Lake No Name, still, there was no Doomsday vault in sight.
Throttle up.
However, this part of the job was a welcome respite. After all, how hard can sitting on a boat operating a conveyor belt be?
Spread it out just a little bit so we don't dump too much weight on it once, or it could plug up the conveyor system.
How do you spread it out?
Just a little bit dump,
Oh, okay.
pause for a few seconds, and dump a little more. Stop. Whoop, whoop. Why don't you pull it the other way?
Looks like the main conveyor belt stopped.
Oh, we plugged her up. All right, you get to get a little bit dirty. We went a little too fast. We got to take a rake and shovel some of the conveyor back into the harvester, because there's too much weight right now on it.
Oh, that's why it stopped?
Yep. And then turn the key off, and we'll take a rake and shove a little bit in the back.
I didn't realize it was that sensitive. So how much weight can this handle?
I'm not sure. I know that we
Not this much.
we from time to time do what you just did, and we get just a little too aggressive.
Crap.
At this rate, the end of days may come before I even get to the Doomsday vault.
It's heavier than it looks, actually.
All I can say is it better be worth it.
Most aquatic plants are 95 to 99% water. If we were to leave this in the sun for a few days, it would pretty much turn to dust.
It's like hay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's pretty good, Mike. I'm pretty optimistic we'll be able to get it going with this.
Are you?
Weight.
I'm still fascinated by what happens when coontail dries out. Then again, I'm easily amused.
Okay. Now go ahead and put the conveyor on, and we'll get rid of what we've already got in it. There we go. Come on, go!
So you just kind of give it a little jerk here and there.
One more time. And throttle up all the way.
Oh, look at that big clump. Oh, no. Nice shot.
Good.
That'll about do it.
That's it.
Okay, so now you got a dump truck full of invasive flora. What can we do next? Can we drive the truck somewhere?
You can go ahead and drive the truck over to the landscape waste, and Manny will be meeting you over there and show you how to feed it in the tub grinder and turn it into mulch.
Manny or Manny?
Manny.
Let's go meet Manny.
Now, if I didn't have such great respect for the fine folks at the Chicago Botanic Garden, I would almost think they were using me to do all their dirty work. I don't mind doing the dirty work. It's part of the bargain. But I came here for the vault. Hello? The vault? In hindsight, Bob turned out to be the easiest of the bunch. My next stop brought me to Manny and his tools of torture. Coming up.
I'm ready to press a button and watch all this thing start spinning and chirping and grinding and spitting and vomiting up the rubbish.
I know you were good for something.
The deadly weed.
Don't go in there.
Gets hammered by a hammer mill.
Oh, yeah. Feed the beast.
And later, in every Doomsday movie,
If I weren't here, you'd be in the middle of some sort of work. And what would that look like?
there's always a sexy scientist.
Like me with my ass up in the air, down on my knees trying to get that.
Where have you been all my life? Now, do you know what time it is right now on the Doomsday clock?
Who wrote this thing?
I found it on the interweb. It's got to be true. No, the Doomsday Clock. I think what they did, a bunch of smart people got together and said, based on world affairs, nuclear capability, and just a general bunch of pessimists got together and said, you know, if it gets to midnight, that's the end of it.
I don't know. You're talking to the wrong person if you're talking about the end of the world or doomsday. I'm an optimist. You know.
You're a glass half full kind of gal.
Yeah.
As of January 14th, 2010, the Doomsday Clock stands at 6 minutes to midnight. Also depressing.
Have we had enough of this?
Howdy.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Manny. Mike.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you.
Wow.
I just started hitting buttons, and I hope I got the right one. It looks like I might have.
Yes, definitely you did it.
This is where you work? This your
This is
office?
where I work. This is my favorite place in the gardens. It's where we process all this.
This is your favorite place in the garden.
Yes,
That's great.
yes.
So is everything here that used to be this, or this is in the process, or what are we going to do?
Well, this takes more time for the machine to grind it wet as it is right now. But if we leave it for a couple days, the machine will swallow it really, really fast.
Is there some stuff we can put in the machine now just to show how it works?
Yes, we can put
Okay.
some. We can do some. I want to show you my baby. Yeah. This is where everything goes in. Right in the middle, we have the hammer mills. By the end of the day, some material always stays in the machine. And before I start up the machine, I have to go inside and clear up. So make sure all the hammer mills start moving. Would you be my guest and help me?
I'd be happy to help you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Should I jump in there?
Just jump in. Don't worry about
You say
it.
don't jump in or
I'm
jump
gonna
in?
start this.
Oh, you're going to start it?
No,
No?
no, I'm gonna have the key with me on my pocket,
Okay.
okay?
Not sure. I'm not sure. The differences between the sentences jump in and don't jump in. Huge.
Jump in.
All right.
Hammer mills are rotating hammers used for grinding. In this case, Eurasian milfoil.
So, see, those are the hammer mills.
I see them now.
Every year, the garden generates between 1,000 and 2,000 cubic yards of composting material. And to get the job done, Manny built most of this machine himself, using parts from farm equipment.
Now, I've seen these things on farms. They basically work, you know, with hay usually, right?
Yes. This one, we've been doing a lot of improvements.
Looks like it'll turn once you fire it up.
You done this before, man? You're doing pretty good.
Well, I've been in holes with pitchforks and all kinds of dirt, but no, I don't think I've done this before, actually. So when this thing spins, it's these that are just flipping back and forth.
Yes.
Where's it going? What's below us?
All that goes down to the conveyor belt. This is a discharge conveyor belt.
I'm ready to press a button and watch all this thing start spinning and chirping and grinding and spitting and vomiting up the rubbish.
I know you were good for something.
Okay, I'll follow you out of here.
Let's get out of here. So I don't think you want to stay here when
No, but not when we turn it on.
See, the conveyor belt is riding at the top of some debris.
So what, you crawl up on that?
Yeah, but I had to turn it off.
You got to do more than turn it off. You got to swallow the key. So you crawl on the...
You're gonna crawl on the inside, okay? You're gonna scrape the dirt, and this side is where the dirt is. You're gonna scrape it and try to remove as much as you can from the conveyor, underneath the conveyor.
Where'd you get this tool, by the way? That's nice.
It's a custom made here.
Of course.
We made it here.
Of course.
From where I stand, the only upside to this portion of a job is if inside this tight space, I find a secret doorway to this Doomsday vault. But something tells me that's not going to happen.
How you doing, Mike?
Everything is very sharp in here, Manny.
Yes,
It's a very sharp place.
it is.
My custom tool now is hovering above a very specific piece of crap that Troy's shooting. And I believe you will now see me loosen the crap with the tool from Troy's angle. I think it's a big shot, and it's worth talking about and worth setting up. And here it comes right now. Ready? All right, that was that. I hope I didn't overstate it much, but I mean, a lot of things came together all at the same time. If you've just joined us, let me point out from this perspective, I'm inside of a tub grinder, and if you look right above me here, those are 100. How many blades, Manny?
168.
168 very sharp blades in a hammer mill. And when this thing starts spinning, holy crap, it's like Armageddon right down here. This is anything that gets close to it is vaporized into crap. It is Doomsday. It's Doomsday at the Garden. Imagine it's like the cask of Amontillado being walled in here with a giant mound of crap. Look at that, entombed in your own poo. Doug, you messed up my effect. I was going to wall you in, thereby creating the viewer point of view and frightening people in nearly 180 countries.
So how you doing, Mike?
You didn't tell me to do this, but I'm finding other pieces of crap smashed into various other little holes. You want me to go ahead and clear those out while I'm here?
It'll be great.
See, right there, it's like a bonus.
Okay.
This is what we call a bonus cleaning. I don't do this for just anyone. All right, Manny, I feel as though I've got most of the stuff out of the underneath of the belt.
How many pounds of dirt?
140,000.
Great.
Don't go in there. Let's start her up.
All right.
Like a luxury automobile.
You shouldn't be driving on the bucket, okay?
No, he's very irresponsible.
Did you do that all the time?
He really wants the Emmy.
Now we're gonna see some action with this.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna go like a
The mulch produced here is the main source of food for the plants in the garden. The results will be spread throughout the 300 acres of land.
Oh, yeah. Feed the beast.
The temperature in this composting heap can reach over 160 degrees. This is part of the natural process of converting the waste into usable fertilizer.
That was fun.
Well,
You're all right.
you did it again. Great job, Mike.
And your baby. You know what? Do you have a name for your baby? Your BM. Your belching monster.
Belgian monster. Yeah. Oh,
Or your baby mulcher.
baby monster. Whoopee. I like it.
Either way, it's BM.
I like it.
Thank you. I'm going to go
a lot,
check
Mike.
out the Doomsday Vault. That's where I'm going now. Where all the
Okay.
seeds are.
All right.
I'll tell him you said hello.
Okay, please. Thank you, Mike.
The European Space Agency is developing a Doomsday Ark on the Moon. This Ark would be a database containing information on things like language, crop growing, and modern technology. Ideally, the base would allow remaining Earthlings access to information, ensuring the survival of the human race.
What asteroid is currently heading toward the Earth, and when is it going to hit? Any info on that?
Oh, it's so doomy.
It's called Apophis, and it's on a collision course with Earth with an impact date sometime in 2036.
Well, have a good time. I won't be here.
We now frolic through the prairie on our way to meet up with two botany specialists, including the illustrious Dr. Witt. With intellect like that, I'll definitely be out of my league. So perhaps the doctors will lower their expectations just a tad.
Dr. Witt?
Yes,
You're Dr. Witt?
I am.
May I join you in the prairie?
Oh, please do.
I'd hate to unnecessarily trample any native species.
We like our natives and we don't want your big feet all over them.
But if I see anything non-indigenous, I'm going to jump on it with all 210 pounds.
Be my guest. You can rip it out by its roots, too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Dave?
Dave.
Mike?
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you. What do you do here, Dave?
I'm the seed, I work with a seed bank. I'm the seed conservation specialist.
Seed conservation specialist?
Yes, he's being modest, actually. He's really kind of the go-to guy because he knows all the plants in the prairie, really almost literally by name.
What are you holding?
This is a Trimble GPS unit, and with it we take both the location of the population that we're sampling from, and we also enter all of the data about this population in here.
And what specifically are we looking to sample today?
We're looking to sample this little teeny plant right here. This is Eliocharis, or cotton grass.
I think you meant was an Eliocharis.
Yeah,
Now, it's just shuffled off its mortal
coil?
stamen. So you like the way I threw that botanical term in there?
I do, that was good.
Were you mildly impressed with it?
A little bit.
Okay, so not that much. Maybe I should just retrench it a little bit and really spell it out for me. You're collecting seeds right now specifically and sampling them, and then we're going to take them into this Doomsday vault of yours?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a doomsday vault. In fact, I really think of it as the ultimate, or the ultimate altar of hope, in fact. Because if I really thought that we were going to be really wiped out and really, really wiped out, there wouldn't really be any purpose to having a seed vault, because then there wouldn't be any of us left to use those seeds, right? I mean,
you make a good point. But if you're in my place and, you know, you had a ridiculous show on the air for years and you look for something cool to do and you come across something called the, what'd you call it, the Eternal Altar of Hope?
Yes.
All right. What you do is you turn the page. Well, you see Doomsday Vault. You're like, okay, let's meet these people.
Okay, it's a doomsday vault. Oh, my God, there we go.
That's right. We'll do, there's no
The
room.
world is falling apart. The sky is falling. Oh, my God, we got to get these seeds.
Now you're singing our song. There is no hope on dirty jobs. Only doom.
Only doom.
If I weren't here, you'd be in the middle of some sort of work, and what would that look like?
That would look like me with my ass up in the air, down on my knees trying to get that.
Where have you been all my life? A doctor, ass in the air, knees on the ground. Now we got a promo. She really wants the job.
Maybe I should realign my expectations. The good doctor had a whole different side than I expected.
I'm going to put you to work now.
I believe you.
The first thing that we do, names are really important.
Two names, from what I understand.
Eliocharis.
Eliocharis?
Yeah. You like our high-tech equipment?
You really did break the bank with this. Out of that fancy bag, I thought you'd pull something a bit more state-of-the-art.
Hey.
This is tragic, but this is what you put a fifth of whatever in.
Yeah, well.
Stagger home full of regret.
I never regret it after I drink a fifth. Okay, come on down.
It's a bag of Eliocharis.
Okay, so see those little brown dots right there? Those are the seeds. That's what we're after.
And that's what goes in the vault?
And that's what goes in the vault.
We want to try and collect somewhere between 3,000 and 20,000.
Oh, that's super scientific, yeah. Somewhere between 3 and 20,000?
The people up there knew half of what I just said out here. I would be so fired.
Well, you know, they're going to. What's that squeaking?
That could be a
Is Dave kneeling on something?
deer mouse or
I think he is kneeling
meadow
on
vole.
something.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's you. You were smashing some little mouse or something. Freaking cretin. You're squatting on a nest. You're squashing it's a nest. Yeah, you had your big, meaty, hairy hobbit knee on one of these little mouse nests. Oh, my God. Yeah, right there. Listen. Listen. Dave's knee, the ultimate invasive species.
True enough.
All right?
Yep.
We do leave quite a footprint, don't we?
Yes, we sure do. And we have reached every millimeter of the Earth and had an impact on every single part of it.
Now, you say that as though you're not really pleased with the impact we've made, this particular species.
We don't care about the plant life. I mean, we may pretend that we care, but if we really
I
cared...
do.
I know.
No, I mean, I pretend I care.
Oh, yeah.
It gets exhausting. Don't you get exhausted caring? I mean, you care more for like than 100 people.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah,
and that's got to wear you out.
You know, it does sometimes, except then I come out here and I'm completely renewed. Really, honestly.
I feel like we're making a margarine commercial.
I know, it's really disgusting, but it's true.
It's so daggone pretty. Does anyone have any margarine? Doctor, I'm relying on your PhD nest to somehow elevate the tired rhetoric of this program into something arable.
Wrong girl.
That is the story of my life.
Coming up,
What is this stuff called?
Inothra, evening primrose.
extracting seeds for future generations.
Just take that lever and very gently push it forward.
It's more fun than you think.
Oh, like really caress it.
These botanists are unbelievable. Can we disappear into a black hole? Yes or no?
You probably could. That's your thing.
Every Tuesday at 9. That's what I do. You show me a black hole, I'm going in
You're
it.
going in there.
No, the truth is we can, because if we expand across the Milky Way, and as I'm sure you know, we live in an expanding universe. Did you know that? Or is that, does that also fall in the category who gives a crap?
If you say so, I don't know. Whatever that paper says.
Doug, what's happening to you? We've gone over this 1,000 times. There's no good thing can come of that. There's no fiber in it. There's no nutritional value. You chip your yellow teeth. You don't want to eat that. You don't. It'd be nice to get out of here sometime before Doomsday, for real. We're going to go back and dry out our seed in the Doomsday lab or the eternal altar of perpetual hope, depending on your worldview. After you, Dave.
Oh, that's not what I expected.
This is the official lab.
This is the seed lab, yes. And that right there is the vault.
That is the vault?
That's the vault. That whole wall is the seed vault.
Wow. We are going to go in there at some point.
Oh, yeah, we are.
All right.
Yeah. And these are seed dryers. So the next step in the process to ensure the longevity of the seeds is to dry them down under a cool environment.
Once these seeds dry to a humidity of 15%, they'll be transferred to the vault, where they'll last for 200 years.
No. We're going to put you to work cleaning one of the hardest fruits that we've had to clean.
What is this stuff called?
This is Inothra, evening primrose.
Evening primrose.
Yes, that's right.
Now, do I have to do it with this weird sort of bent over posture, or can I sit in your chartreuse?
Oh, no,
okay,
please sit. You're sitting in the chartreuse chair? Yeah.
So with the vault mere yards to my right, it was all the crew and I could do to restrain ourselves from rushing in, shooting some footage, and racing off to enjoy a few cold ones. But restrain ourselves we did, while meticulously extracting a couple hundred seeds from a husk of evening primrose.
I've been here what feels like maybe 20 or 30 hours. At some point, can I go into the vault?
Oh.
At some point, will that happen?
Oh, you mean I have to let you?
At this point, yeah. I mean, we're deeply invested in this thing.
I'm going to make you count them. You don't want to count seeds?
Oh, I was counting them as I went.
Oh, how many are in
488. Well, 489 counting the...
Well, you're falling behind. We need 3,000.
Well, let's... Oh.
Turn it on. And see, there's a column of air being pushed up through here.
Yes.
Now take that lever and gently, very gently, push it forward. Gently. Oh, like really caress it. I mean,
These botanists are unbelievable. So we're basically blowing all the husks and the dust and the little seeds with nothing in them.
Right, out of there.
Up into this holding area.
Just about there. You can turn it off.
Yeah.
Pull that back first. Yes, and then turn that off. We're going to go into the other room.
Is this all of them?
This is good enough for now. Okay, so the next step is for us to actually count the seeds. And this is, we've kind of stolen this from the pharmaceutical industry. It's actually a commercial pill counter. Now you put those in there. And now, see how they're going up the ramp?
Look at them shake around there like that.
Yeah, and then they go past a sensor, and then they get counted.
And then, what is it, like a laser?
Yep.
That's amazing. Dave, look at these numbers. Pushing tighter. I think we're going to have, I guess, 830.
There you go. So about twice what you estimated. And you're not very good at estimating.
That's true, I'm not. Hey, I thought we'd be done today around 3.
Coming up, after ironing out some last-minute details...
Is it time to go into the Doomsday Vault?
Yes.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for.
She's going to go and I'm going to follow her. We're going to move quickly. We're going to break to our right.
The crew can hardly stand the tension.
There you go.
God, it's freezing. Crap, that's cold. We're dying. It's Armageddon.
You are funny.
That's nice of
You
you
make
to
me
say.
laugh. You really do.
You have watched the program then?
Oh, yeah.
Really? The idea of you doing things to allow this whole prairie to exist is one thing, but the thought of you sitting at home eating popcorn, watching me, laughing at my poo jokes.
You are funny.
Love that.
And also your ads. I'm not kidding you.
My ass?
Your
Sue.
ads.
My ads. Oh, no, that's nice, but if we could just get back to my ass briefly.
You know, it isn't time for you to get mucky. Let's get out of here.
It is. Can we go into Doomsday Vault now?
Yeah, no.
No. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so I have one more task for you, and then we can go into the Doomsday.
My final task was to pour some pre-prepared seeds into an envelope impervious to both air and water, and to seal it with a scalding hot iron. There it will remain, in the vault, for about as long as it has taken to film this episode.
All right, first try.
Yeah, done? Is it time to go into the Doomsday Vault?
Yes, it is.
You want to see it? I know, we've strung you along for a long time. I know you're thinking, what'd you call it again? The Eternal Altar of Perpetual Hope or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going in. We're going to go right now.
Okay.
Hey, you think we should take a commercial break before we go? No, let's just go in right now.
Let's just go in right now.
All right, doctor. Lead me to the vault.
All right.
Come with us. Come to the vault. Come on. Come on.
And now, the moment you and I have all been waiting for. The reclusive, secretive, overly hyped, everlasting Doomsday Vault. All I can say is it had better be worth the wait.
We're now in front of the door leading to the Doomsday Vault. Anything we should know before we go in?
Yes, we should know about where you're going to put that, right? Because you don't want to be in there too long. It's cold in there. We don't want to leave the door open for too long.
How cold is it?
-20.
Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
So I'm going to come in, I'm going to make a hard right.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And then I'm just going to throw this and run out.
No, you're going to alphabetize it.
Oh, all right.
And since there are, I don't know, 120 or so species of Carex.
So I'm looking for medii, so I got to find Carex.
You got to find Carex and whatever is before ME, and then stick it right there.
Doug, will you be following? Yes. All right. Anybody else coming with? You going to come, Dave? Troy, you going to come too?
Over that.
All right, I mean, have we all seen this show? You realize what's going to happen. We're going to come in, there's going to be a bottleneck right here. So look, here's the plan. She's going to go in, I'm going to follow her. We're going to move quickly, we're going to break to our right. We're going to get ourselves flush against this basic filing area. Doug, I would suggest, and I believe it's not my place to direct, but if you kind of fall back in this area between F and D. Troy, if you take the position here between K and H, Dave, you'll do what you want to do. Nobody can tell you, but I would suggest maybe A, shooting this way. When we leave, you'll go first, I'll follow you. We'll come out and lock these inside, and that'll be that.
Excellent.
All right?
Good plan.
When the world ends, people will find seeds and cameramen.
There you go. All right.
Crap, that's cold.
Yes, that's cold. All right. So C is in here somewhere.
Yes.
Now, find
C.
Carrots.
Oh my God, it's freezing. We're dying.
Carrots.
It's Armageddon. Carex volumpiota, Carex typhana, Carex tribulodius, Carex medii. So it's going to go between Carex medii and Carex genericii. How do you pronounce that?
Scheinericii.
See that? Carex scheinericii and Carex medii. I'm going to file it right here. I'm going to do it right.
Right back up there.
Oh, my goodness. Look, I don't think we can make it out in time. We're going to depend on one another for our bodies warm.
All right.
All right, I'm going to lie down. You lie. All right, everybody out. We're freezing.
Can we get out?
It was a survival mechanism.
Did you?
Yes, we can get out. All right, you all remember the plan. I'm going to miss you all very much. Does that turn off the lights?
Yes, it does.
You may be wondering why I'm walking down the windswept hills of Northern California wearing a wetsuit and carrying on a whalebone. Well, mind your own business. What I need you to do is go to discovery.com/dirty jobs right now and suggest my next dirty adventure. It's kind of an important part of the show because if you don't do that, then, well, we don't have a show. So if you could do that whole discovery.com/dirty jobs thing right now, and not be so daggone curious about what I'm wearing and what I'm carrying and why, that'd be super. Great. Thanks. Still watching? Not typing. It's bad.
That's how behind the scenes gets in the scene. Violence. This is what's called coverage in the TV business. Troy is covering the hammer mill. Doug is covering the tub that's turning. Dave is covering a wide shot of the action. And Dan is covering my meaningless commentary, which surely will never be used.